Hey y'all, what's up? I will be having a pleasure of speaking to Arthur K.L. Hall. Now listen, this is a part one of the interview, so there will be part two at a later date. So I want you to just enjoy the conversation and get to know her as the author. And also, she gave us some books to add to our TBR. You know, mine is unlimited, baby. I don't know about y'all. But enjoy the conversation and while we get to know her as the author and also get to know her character Adonis, The Cost of a Billionaire Heart. And that's one of my favorite books by her. So I suggest y'all add it to our TBR. Enjoy the conversation. And get started. Okay. So thank you for coming on to the Plastic and with Faye. So this will be our first interview on Zoom, so which is going to be on YouTube. So let me get into the first question. About we're going to be talking about the Adonis, the cost of it being their heart, right? So what made you write Adonis? Like what was so important? Because listen, when I read that book, it gave me fake fiance, love, being there, romance, and a whole lot of emotion with it, right? So what was the moment that made you say, okay, I need to write this story?
I had never done a billionaire romance before. It was like something I was like interested in, but like that, and I don't think I've ever done like a kind of stepdaddy type of thing,
Yeah,
like single mom. So I know a lot of those tropes have been done before, but just kind of getting in there and playing with the characters and kind of pulling out the different emotions and things like that. It was like really fun, but I tell people I was like, the streets, they don't turn me loose. So I had to put that little urban touch in
yeah,
there
yeah,
like
yeah.
that, just to make it me in a sense of like, what you're kind of going to be used to getting from like a KL Hall book. So yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. I definitely enjoyed it because, like I said, when I read it, I'm like, oh my God, this book is good. But the first book I had read by you, Professor Sadie, that's the first book I ever read.
Okay. Okay.
But Professor
Okay.
Sadie, I said, okay. Because I was kind of hoping you choose it, but I'm glad you choose it because this is my favorite one. Okay, so let me
Thank you.
get into Tamara. Okay, Tamara was such a powerful woman, and she had a child also, but her child, it was her world. You could tell that she was so determined to make sure he had everything that he needed. And plus, she was a single mother, carrying the weight of the world. And what was so important for you to write her strength and her sacrifices and the unconditional love that she had for her child?
I think one of the most important things for me with her character was to definitely make sure that she always put her son first. Like I wanted the readers to know that he was the priority, even with her like making the decisions that she made, like from the jump, like it was like negotiating not so much for her, but for her son. Like he needs health insurance for at least a year while I try to figure out this job thing.
Yeah,
Like I don't know who your babysitter is. You got money, you hired somebody, but let me check her references. Like
yeah,
he's staying with me. Like we
yeah,
coming, but he's staying like. So that was really important to me because I think that had she hadn't had a child, she could have been a
yeah,
little
yeah,
more
yeah.
open, but I think that helped her be more reserved and kind of keep her composure with a lot of things and know like, okay, like this is only for a week, whatever I'm doing, like I have a greater purpose. So
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I could definitely, because I was like, okay, I don't know what's going to happen in a week, like, okay. And as it progressed, I'm like, oh, okay, I can see where it's going. But, okay, so when Tamara lost her job, right, Adonis had saw her out of all people that's in the room. And she held her composure. You know, when some people lose their job, when they have a family, they be upset. But she
Right,
held her composure until she got an escalator. And
right.
what surprised me that he ran down all the steps. I'm like, how many steps did you run to get sick to the escalator? And I know she was
Sit,
like trying to hold it in.
sit.
And then he came in the escalator. I'm like, what you want? Like, I'm not in the mood, And then he but
Right.
offered her that, a proposal, like in a way, hey, I need you to do this for me for a week. But you could tell she was hesitant. But and again, she was like, I have to make sure my son is straight
Right.
before anything. That was the most important thing. That's one thing I like about her. She's like, okay, do you think if she didn't lose her job, if she wasn't going through what she's going through, you think she would continue or she would be like, no?
I think that it would have been easier for her to say, get somebody else to do it. But I think because she was put in that financial bind and then kind of in a sense, for lack of better words, like dangled this like $50,000 financial carrot in your face.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
I'm almost positive that was more money than whatever her salary was, right? So it's almost like a come up in a sense. But I
yeah,
think if she hadn't lost the job, hadn't lost the benefits and things like that, she would have been like, No, thank you." Because there wouldn't have been no, like, I don't think he would have seen her in the elevator, caught her crying, got like, you know what I'm saying? Like it
yeah,
just
yeah,
with the way that it did. But had she not lost her job, I don't really foresee her like doing that, specifically to having the son and things like
yeah,
that. But no, I got a
yeah,
job.
yeah. Yeah, because I was looking, I was thinking like that. That's what made me ask that question. I'm like, I wonder what she's doing. I'm like, nah, she's so very strong will when it comes to her son. Like you could tell her son was her world. Like, ain't
Yeah,
she gonna go hell and back for her son? And that's one
yeah,
thing I love about her character. Okay, so Adonis saw something. I feel like Adonis saw something in her that everybody else didn't see
right.
because she had that one coworker that's always in everybody's business. Feel like had an issue with her, like why he chose, all this thing, you sleeping with him. And I'm like,
Hater,
but
hater, hater.
yeah,
Mm-mm.
I'm like, just I want to say just being a hater, really, like just hating,
Yeah.
but like, okay. But do you think Adonis saw something in her completely that she didn't see in herself, in a sense?
I think so. I think like low key, like he admired her. I think because like, he lost his mom pretty young, like he was raised by a single parent in a
Yeah,
sense. So I feel like there was like that soft spot there for him, and then just kind of seeing how hard she fought for him. I think that was like a turn on because I feel like with him, with the billionaire status, a lot of women who flock to him see money and dollar signs. And then I know I put in like that little piece of like the last relationship he had, like the girl lied about a pregnancy and like,
yeah,
what I'm
yeah. I
saying?
remember that.
Like,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
he was just like, this girl is real. She's not worried about me financially in that
yeah,
sense. She's just
yeah.
trying to do what she's got to do. Like she's about her business. And me as a businessman, I can appreciate that. So,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So definitely, because you could tell she wasn't the type of woman, even though she was concerned about her son, like, even though she really needed the money, it was mostly for what her son needed. And
right.
like you said, in the character, there's some other women, like, with the fake pregnancy and stuff like that. He wasn't sure if he could trust her as the time had progressed, he started to see her in a different light, like, okay, she very serious, like, okay, I need a nanny. Say, no, I don't know about this nanny, who this nanny is, you know what I'm saying? You just
Check her
find
out.
anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she was like, no, I gotta meet this nanny. He like, she wanted the best. Like, I don't care. Like, she was
Right.
just so determined. And I think that's when he's like, okay, like, she's not one of the women that they're gonna just push over and just allow anything. And I love the fact that how he really catered to her son. I
Yeah, like
love that.
he fell, I think he probably fell for the sun or allowed himself to fall for the sun before he allowed himself to fall for her.
Yeah,
In the sense of like, we riding in the car, I'm over here getting him stuff on Amazon and making sure,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like stuff that he didn't have to do. But you could kind of tell like he wasn't doing it to impress her. It was more because he wanted to. And he
yeah.
didn't really care like what you got to say about it because I want to give him this gift and he gonna have this gift. So
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. I could definitely tell that. Okay. So let me ask you this. Okay. What what I love about Adonis is that he never made somebody feel like it was part of the business deal, correct? So he made it feel like it wasn't no partnership, it wasn't no arranged situation. He just made sure she was very comfortable.
Right.
So, he set some boundaries, like she did set some boundaries with him, which I do appreciate. Do you feel like it was just do you feel like there were moments that said, well, his feelings starting to change towards her? Or is that just simply as who Adonis is as a person?
So I think it was a little bit of both. Like I think when they did like their little engagement shoot where it's like, okay, now you got a kiss. It's like,
Yeah,
all right, but he asked if she's comfortable, like specifically for a man that has that much power, has that much money. You can almost do anything you want and get away with it in a sense.
yeah,
So to make sure that she was comfortable, because I think like he needed her. Like they needed each other in a sense of like he knew she needed the money, but he also needed her to make sure that his deal went through, which was like the whole point.
Yeah,
So I think that him making her comfortable with like the kiss and things like that was like that first little inkling of like, oh, this was a kind of a nice kiss. Okay, this is supposed to be fake. This feels real. But then I think when they went to like the opera and the golf, like him being able to like show her a new kind of world that she hadn't been experienced to, or like,
yeah,
exposed
yeah, yeah.
for was really important and like kind of fun for him in a sense.
Yeah, yeah, I could definitely appreciate that because he did make sure that they had, experience things that normal people wouldn't get a chance to experience. Even though it was a partnership, even though it was a business arrangement, but it didn't seem like that at all. It was just like, okay, I got this person in my house. I want to make it seem like it's normal. But it's almost like he did it intentionally in a sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, I want to, he kind of like, I feel like he did like it from the beginning when he saw it. He saw something about her, but even though it was a business arrangement, but I feel like he had feelings from her from the very beginning, in a sense, because the way he was moving and the way he went about everything, it wasn't fake. It was just like genuine throughout the
Yeah.
whole thing with the business arrangement. When the business arrangement, you don't know it's fake. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? But the way he wrote it, and it was just so beautifully done. I really like that. Okay. We gotta talk about the kids for a minute. Okay. The kids know, but when I had the kid for the picture, I'm like, okay, how they gonna do this?
Right.
And I love the fact that he asked her, are you comfortable? You know what I'm saying? Because some people don't respect people's boundaries, I would say. Y'all don't be
Right.
real. Some people don't respect people's boundaries at all.
Sure. Yeah.
So yeah, the fact that he actually asked her what she was comfortable with, even though they had to make the pictures look real.
Right.
And when they share their kids, I'm like, okay, that's gonna be the one that set it off for
Right.
them in a sense. So what was that like writing that scene for them?
I just wanted to, like you said, make it feel like you want her to be comfortable because, like, I think if she's not comfortable and you don't feel like she's comfortable as the reader, then you get uncomfortable. Like, you
Yeah,
know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah,
Like, oh my God, why you do this to her? Like, why you put her on the spot like that? Oh my God, she don't want you. Like, so that was a big piece of it. And just making it yes, like the kiss, but like the kind of feelings and everything like surrounding it per se, of like trying to bring that part to life, of like, kind of like the world kind of slipped away and it's just
yeah,
them,
yeah,
stuff like that, where it's like you can kind of feel the intensity that I don't think either of them knew was there or was gonna present itself in that moment. So yeah.
okay, okay. So okay, let me ask you about this. What was your favorite part about writing Adonis into my story? I mean, journey. What was your favorite part?
Okay, so it's between the one bed scenario, like right when they're like the day before sealing the deal and it's
Yeah,
about to be over and everything. Um, like that little back and forth was like, she's like, no, I'm adamant I can sleep on this couch. Like, I'm fine. It's gonna be fine. And he's like, girl, let me be the man.
yeah, yeah,
Like the push and pull there was like cute and fun and like, but then like as the night goes on, she realizes like it's pretty cold out here and
yeah, yeah,
I don't think I made the right decision. So there's that. That was cool and everything that led up with that. But then I think also like when the stuff hit the fan,
yeah,
when the deal is signed, everything's done, we're on the jet, whatever. But then now this man comes out of nowhere, like, this my son, this my this my blah, 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 like threatening to ruin everything that she thought that she could keep buttoned up.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So that was also very fun. And then just like I guess like tearing them apart to bring them back together in the
yeah,
sense of like, her son kind of inadvertently being like the voice of reason for her. Like, well, he
Yeah,
said, "Hi, girl, did you apologize? Did he apologize?" Like, because he's
yeah,
young.
yeah,
He's like, when
yeah.
you do something bad to somebody, you say sorry and you move on. And why y'all not doing that? Because that's what you tell me to do. So,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Cause yeah, I kind of cause when I got to, I was like, okay, when the plot twist, the plot twist, like you stated, it was such. I was like, wow, okay. He knew her, she knew him, and he knew him, right? My thing was I was like, okay, you upset with her because she didn't tell you about her past, but the
right,
same way you didn't tell her, you know what I'm saying? Like I understand you and your feeling because that's something to do with, I don't want to fall for somebody that, they're close to you,
right,
right?
right.
And I understand it's a big deal, but I'm like, how you gonna get mad at her? You know what I'm saying? You kept it kind of like a secret too, also. But, the fact that, it was, I'm not gonna say it because I don't want to give it away because I want people to
Yeah, but
read it.
I think for him, it was more like almost like embarrassment, like you making me look bad type of thing.
Yeah, yeah,
Because now this is a mess that I have to clean up because obviously you can't clean this up. And then two, like now my feelings are hurt because now it's kind of giving me a little bit of PTSD from the girl that I used to date who lied
yeah,
to me. And like I don't think he was thinking so much about his secrets as
yeah,
much as like how her secrets affected him and made him look in that
yeah,
moment.
yeah, yeah. I could definitely see that. Now, what I want to say, the one thing I enjoy about watching their emotional connection develop before everything became complicated, right? How was it important for you to show trust, safety, and friendship as the foundation of their relationship?
So I think like I just wanted to make sure I put as much like not so much intimate, but like the getting to know you, we're spending time together
Hmm.
thing. Um, like oh she made breakfast or he made her coffee or he remembered how she took her coffee or
Yeah,
when the jeweler came over and he was like, I was prepared to get you all these rings if you want, like,
yeah,
like just showing like the different dynamics of their world, but how they also could come together and still have things in common in a sense and
yeah,
like,
yeah,
balance each other out really well. Um, was like a good, like, I feel like that was like necessary because you didn't want it to read like he's so like high and mighty and she's not, and they just, you
yeah, yeah,
don't really see that connection. So, and I think also with her having the son that helped, um, kind of bring out like a softer side of him, which is something that I think also made her warm up to him a little bit more than she would have otherwise, just
yeah,
because he never had a dad, so she'd never, you know, gotten to see her son around a man of
yeah, yeah,
with good intentions. I'll say
yeah.
that,
Good,
you
yeah,
know.
yeah, yeah.
So,
Yeah, I could definitely see that because Adonis, like I said, Adonis was very well intentioned with the son. You know what I'm saying? And Adonis, Adonis never had kids, and I don't think children crossed his mind,
right.
at all while he was dating. By him having, had this opportunity for her, and she have a son, it kind of helped him be more softer in a way. Cause somebody, I don't know who they was in the character in the book, but somebody mentioned it to him. You seem different. You
Yeah.
like you not you like you could, it's like okay, you seem different than what you used to be. You used to
Right.
be so tough. Now you kind of have more compassion. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's amazing how somebody could come into your life and just make you be hard, but it helps bring out that softer side of you that people don't see. And
Yeah.
then when you lose that, sometimes it can be kind of like devastation because so the way he stayed out there, stayed out her door the whole time, the fact I said, okay. Yeah, I see you ain't playing no game for her. I'm like,
Business. He means the business.
yeah, he was very persistent. I'm like, girl, please get this man back. I'm like, please take a bed, baby. I'm like, listen, if you don't want him, I just become a fictional character in a book and get him myself,
Right.
okay?
Yeah. Like I just moved in down the hall, girl. How you doing?
Yeah, 'cause it was just kind of crazy. Okay, so we've seen being that woman before, right? But Adonis felt different because his money didn't define him as who he was as a person. So, ability to love, how did you balance that fantasy of his lifestyle and making him feel real Emotionally layered man.
It was a little bit of back and forth in a sense, like trying to like example, like when he goes to the jail, right? Like
Yeah,
I feel like that is where you kind of really see him two places. At the golf course when everything happens with the son and
yeah,
he's like calling the shots with that. And then when he goes to the jail with like you can see the power that he yields with like the connections that he has and how he's willing to use those and not think twice about it. But so it's like that type of balance with like, okay, he got money and this is only things that people with real money can do.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then I think like the thing that I went back and forth on was when he was in the jail having that one-on-one, it was like, should he put the pause on him or no?
Yeah,
Right? And I chose no because I'm like, if you have that much money, you can, you know what I'm saying? You've put all
yeah,
these
yeah, yeah,
kids
yeah.
here, right? Then like you can kind of have somebody else handle that
Take
for
care of
you
yeah,
and, keep your hands semi clean, if that
yeah,
makes sense.
yeah. See my
So just leaning into that, like, kind of put your billionaire hat on. Like, if I had all this money, like, what would I do? And, things like that.
yeah,
But aside from that, like, getting a little bit of his background with the losing the mom and losing the dad, how he did, and then having the bad breakup and not having a lot of people he can trust and having the friendship go awry and things like that. So, just like he's almost like a recluse in a way, like almost kind of lonely, but not in a sense. Like he doesn't
yeah, yeah,
give off lonely, but if you look at all the things that have happened to him, he doesn't really have anyone to
yeah, yeah,
confide in or lean on or be soft with if that's something that he even felt like he wanted to do. So, with her coming in and then, children just kind of make you
yeah,
look at life a little differently. So I
yeah.
felt
They do.
like that's what her and her son were able to do for him.
Okay, okay, I definitely see that. Okay, so we definitely gonna have to come back for part 2, but I definitely want to before we end the call, I do want to ask you a question. So the people who are new to you and not have not read anything by you, what book would you recommend that they read?
I feel like that question gets harder and harder and harder as I
Really?
write new books. Um, so I would say if you're into just like you want a longer book, but you want to stand alone, you want to kind of get a feel for the urban, but the romance, but the, different things, I would
Yeah.
definitely recommend Adonis. If you're looking for something just to like kind of dip a toe, you like a little bit of drama, a little bit of spice, but you don't want to be sitting there too long tied to something. You're looking more like a novella style. I would say almost anything from my like Potomac Falls fictional
Okay.
place. So like something blue, something borrowed, something new, just like that group. Any of like the Christmas books. It's just things like that that are like
Okay.
it throws you in there. It's hot and spicy and the drama's crazy, and then it pulls you out, and you're like, "Ooh, hold on, that was it's a trick.
Yeah.
What happened?" You know. So yeah, it could go either way, but yeah, I think like standalone wise, Adonis, or even like Professor Zaddy, like you mentioned at the beginning,
Yeah.
just because that kind of, I think it hooks you from the very beginning because you're like, what's going on here? And then you get the whole little backstory and the plot twist and the deception and all of those things. So that one is a good one to kind of keep you on your toes as well. So.
Yeah, I definitely say that, especially Professor Sadie, because when I started reading, I'm like, okay, now I'm getting into it, and when I got the plot twist and everything, I'm like, oh, okay, this is good. So I think I started that book one day. I think I finished it. I think I started that morning, and I finished it that night. I was not playing. I was
Okay.
hooked on it. Thank you for watching the interview with Author K.L. Hall. It was such a pleasure talking to her, and I hope you enjoyed the conversation. So, yeah, make sure you like and subscribe. And also, don't forget to let me know what you think in the comments. Are you tapping her into a catalog? Let me know what you think, and be on the lookout because I definitely bring it back at a later date. And also, I do have some author lineup coming up also. So make sure you tune in. You never know who you're gonna see on the Plot Thicken with Faye. Read with Faye, the plot twist.